Welcome to Friendlyfire. We are Chica Chats. I'm Ken.
I'm Ro.
And we are in the hot seat.
So we are Chica Chats. You can find us on all major streaming platforms. We're basically two chicas handling tripping conversations, sex, politics, culture, and everything between. You can find Ken on Instagram under
Ken.Soli.
and you can find me at @panamudgies_ and at chica.chats. You can find all of our little links. We had dinner one night and the chemistry was insane that we were like, oh, this feels really special. And then we had a really great supportive internship that was like, okay, like if y'all feel it, y'all do it.
Yeah, right.
But it didn't feel right. The weird for me personally, it didn't feel right whenever I was doing like little things behind their mic. But when we got behind our mic, the two of us, it felt good.
Right. Okay.
I felt like there was something there. And we were a trio first.
Oh, really?
So we had Alex with us, who was also interning. So when we got together, we had to like brainstorm for them. We ended up talking a bunch of stuff that we were interested in, which had a lot to do with what we talk about now. Like, you know, feminism, toxic masculinity, all of those stuff. Yeah. So we were like, these are important conversations we should be having.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of people have those conversations, but like behind doors.
Right.
So then that's how we came to be, basically.
Love our friendship because I think since we met each other, we mutually respect each other. So that need that other people have, or you'll see in other duos or trios of four people, where they're talking over each other. After the first few episodes, we were considerate of each other organically. Because we were like, how can we make it better? But it was never about egos. It was never about who could say more in an episode, who's gonna say this and that. It was more about, even when we create the episodes, they're so beautiful because they'll start off with a conversation and they'll become segments. But like, we are mutually respectful people that when we collaborate, it's a beautiful collaboration.
I think that was the most important part, is being like, are we on the same track with everything? With the end goal of Chica Chats, with what we want out of it, with like our mission and our statement and stuff like that. So like, whether we could talk about anything, but we know and respect those boundaries. But it was actually pretty like natural. We weren't like, hey, don't talk to me like that. Or like, I don't know, it's something like that.
Ken has a background in film and I have more background in comedy in that point. I think both of those things, like being on set before, experience different talent, good and bad things about talent too. It's always something you're improving the dynamic. You have the power of controlling the space and making it feel a certain way. So when you walk into a room, how do you walk in? For us, when we do like a recording session, we're like venting. Well, it's with a purpose. We're aware that we have an audience and we're sharing ourselves, but we're never sharing ourselves when it's like too much exposure or it's violating, or it's always with a positive tone and intention.
I think just in general, we're very open with people. I feel like we both could like find a stranger in the street and be like, here's my life story, if you want to hear it. But we have talked about those things. We have talked about like what we wouldn't really share. I feel like if we were just on and just been like, oh, here's some stats about like, I don't know, different issues in the Latin community. So many people can look those up and that would be fine and that would be great. You're spreading information, but when you put it into a context of like, oh no, here's what I went through, or here's what my family went through, then it's kind of, it's different.
But we never think about who we're isolating right now. We're literally always thinking about we're for everyone, because we would be friends with everyone. So why would we isolate someone?
Of course.
But even now, like, we're trying to get more into like male conversations because a lot of our male friends are having conversation with us. But like, what does that mean to touch on certain things for them?
Very much like teetering on the line of like, should we want to be authentically ourselves, which is very like pro, you know, girls doing what they want and stuff like that, and like LGBTQ and all those things, but also not so much to the point where people won't listen.
Yes,
so,
yes, right.
And that's also when like the personal stories and all of that comes through too, because like if we weren't saying those things, then it would just be us screaming at the mic like, stop being horrible. Like, I don't know.
Right.
But if like we put it in a perspective of like, this is what we think, and these are the examples of why we think this way. Ro grew up very religious. I grew up not religious at all. Ro grew up here. I was born in Mexico. I came over here. She's like a darker skin Latina.
Yes.
I'm like there's so many. We can get different ends of the spectrum. The point of views, but end at the same point.
Exactly.
So that's kind of also like where the relatability comes from.
I got you. Yep.
So there was like a need for us to be like this anger residual shit of like, fuck the fact that we don't fit into the social dynamics that present us as people on camera, right? Me and Ken don't look like some shit you see on like regular programming. But we are Latino, Latinx people. And so there was that frustration of not seeing programming for us in that way. That we were like, oh, we need to do something. We need to do something. So find what makes you special. And find how in that algorithm it doesn't exist. And trust me, you'll find your audience. But a lot of people think like, yes, you can Google all the time, do this, and that, and you'll pop off. But like for a woman of color, you just don't have to. Like you really don't. We really didn't want to be too sexualized, but deal with sexuality in a healthy, safe space.
I love that.
And I think that's really made us a difference. Always creating an environment that is unique. But it's to the point that like we've gone through 3 years of trying different things that we can't do anything else but ourselves.
So we're gonna call this one the 2 peas in a pod challenge. But the questions, the way they work are, how well do you know your partner? If the other person was a video game character, what character would they be?
I put Princess Peaches for you. Now because you're a princess because she's so feisty.
What is the other's biggest pet peeve?
No communication, people being mean. Okay, I just basically, yeah. I was like rude people because Ken does not like rude people.
Yes.
And I was like loud people.
Yo, 1-1. 1-1. All right, let's see. What is the other chica's toxic trait?
No boundaries. Oh, I feel honored then because you open up to me.
But unfortunately, neither will get the point. What would be the other person's secret Wi-Fi password?
Big titties, 69.
Big titties, 69.
Big boobies, 69.
Big boobies, 69.
We're gonna discuss this on our podcast.